almost end with 2025, and it was definitely a year. We had our good times, bad times, hard times, and nice times. At least that was the case for me. But let's skip with these pleasantries and let's talk about the real reason why we are here. I have created a list that consists of all the apps that I have continued using well after I covered them on this channel. And all of them deserve a praise, and I couldn't find a better way to end this year but reviewing them. So, here's the best apps of 2025. Let's start the list with a simple yet a very fun one. Style is an app that helps you create fancy text in a fast and convenient way. But what do I mean by fancy text? Well, you enter whatever text you want to send or share and press style. Then the app shows you a bunch of different versions of your text in different text styles. And this is generally called Unicode styling or fancy text. The app has almost endless amount of unique styles, so you won't get bored with them. You can directly copy the style that you want to use anywhere you want, or like it to keep the style in your favorite section. This was very popular back in the day and I always liked it. I admittedly rarely use the app, but it is always installed on all of my devices because when I need it, there are no better options. Yes, the app looks dated and it would be unfair if I didn't mention it, but then again, it's purely about the utility. So if you want to surprise your friends with random fancy text that they will definitely be curious about, then you should give this app a try. Let's switch to a more general use application for the second place. The moment I saw Droid-ify, it was a love at first sight. But what is Droid-ify? It is an F-Droid client which has a modern and clean design. It supports Material U, black mode, and filled with nice and smooth animations. Utility-wise, it does not add anything particularly new on top of F-Droid, but that's also not the point. This is how official F-Droid client looks like. And this is how F-Droid looks like. Do I really need to say more? On top of that, since I use a bunch of open source applications in my daily life, having a nice interface to manage, install, and update them elevates the experience. Therefore, if you are using F-Droid in any capacity, which you should, just straight up skip the official client and start using Droid-ify. Let's switch to a utility app that I cannot stop using. The app is URLCheck. Over the years, I have used many different URL checker apps, and I also covered a few in this channel as well. But URLCheck is by far the most comprehensive one, and I kept returning to it whenever I need to check a URL. So how do you use it? The easiest method is through the share menu. When you want to check a URL address, just go to your share menu and select URLCheck. Then a pop-up window will open to show you every available data about that link. From here, you can directly check the status of the link, whether it's accessible or not, shorten the URL to get rid of the trackers, remove the referral portion of the link, see the domain details such as scheme that is being used and the domain name, see the add-on parameters such as referral information, and fragments if there is any. You can also convert the HTTP links to HTTPS for better security directly from this menu. And when you're done with your edits, you can open, share, or copy the link directly from this menu as well. The app has a bunch of modules that you can toggle on or off to see more or less information. Some of them require API keys such as URL scanning, but most don't. Additionally, you can set URLCheck as your default browser to intercept every single URL that your device tries to open and check it before continuing. Overall, a pretty extensive suite for everything related to URL checking, therefore I highly suggest you give it a try. The next app in our list is something that I always use with my Samsung devices, which is Wavelet. Simply, Wavelet is a global equalizer app. What makes it special in my eye is the fact that it just works. I left this app open in the background for months and it never stopped working for no reason. Of course, the app also has a super clean UI with no ads, which is a huge bonus. After I switched to my OnePlus 13, I stopped using this app since the speakers on that phone is excellent, but when I was using my S24 Ultra or S25 Ultra, Wavelet was always installed on them. The Samsung flagships unfortunately don't have the best speakers, and when you add the fact that they are also tuned very poorly, an app like Wavelet comes to rescue. The app has a graphic equalizer with a bunch of presets, an extensive gain limiter, and separate gain controls for all channels. Basically everything that you may need to tune your phone's speakers as you want. Of course, it is not just for your phone's speakers and works with your headphones as well. For example, you can create different presets for your different headphones and your phone's speaker to maximize their quality. Therefore, if you're not happy with your phone's speakers or if your headphones don't support EQ settings by default, then Wavelet is the way to go. Our next app is an app that I have covered 2 times in the past year, so I genuinely believe it deserves a spot in this video as well. The app I'm talking about is Standby. Since I covered this app twice, I won't be going in depth in this video, but if you want to see all of its features, you can watch this video. In short, Standby is an app that inspired by iOS's Standby mode, but significantly better. You basically have endless amounts of customization options and everything works perfectly. As a fellow software developer, I can clearly see the time and effort that's went into this app, and just for that reason, it definitely deserves a praise. Everything is a smooth animation and visuals are top-notch. Oh, of course, and it's a very good standby application for your phone, so I highly suggest it. Okay, the next app in our list is dethroned one of my staple applications over the years. I'm talking about DeepL, and the app it replaced for me was Google Translate. DeepL is a translator app that uses AI to help with understanding the context, thus giving you better translations compared to conventional translators. It is a pretty decent language support, supports document translations, and has an image to translate function. Moreover, it is a pretty competent writing assistant that can help you fix your grammatical errors and overall language. Unless I'm translating one single word at a time, then I always go with DeepL rather than Google Translate. So, I highly suggest you give it a try. Our next app is a huge lifesaver, and it is Copy SMS Code. Almost every operating system has a function to copy verification codes from your SMS messages so that you don't have to open the app and copy it manually. However, these things don't work with apps such as Gmail, Outlook, third-party messaging apps, and any other third-party app. Copy SMS Code solves that exact problem. It runs on the background, and whenever you receive a message with a verification code, it detects it and copies it so that you can simply paste it. And it is basically fire and forget. I set up the app once on every single of my devices and then it just works. I don't even know how much time it saved me over the past year and definitely become a must-have in my book. Therefore, if you never installed it, I highly suggest you give it a try. Okay, I admit most of the apps that I keep using was utility apps, but can you really blame me? An APK Extractor is one of them. It is a very straightforward app. It lets you create APK files from your installed apps. It works with system apps and supports APK bundles. It doesn't require root access and worked flawlessly every time I used it. Maybe you want to archive a system app that you cannot download on other devices or want to physically share an app that you have with someone else, APK Extractor gets the job done. When it comes to the UI, it is clean, supports Material U, and it is fast. Therefore, it deserves a spot in this list. The next app in our list is a pretty unique app, which is BuildCores. BuildCores is an app that lets you configure and select PC parts. However, just saying this will be a huge insult to this app. First of all, you can view all of your custom builds as 3D renders so you can visualize better. And let's be honest, it looks pretty sick. The part catalog is huge and I was able to find every part that I have searched for. The app also shows you the prices based on your location, has parts compatibility feature, displays the total power of the system, and many more. On top of those technical stuff, it also shows the estimated benchmark scores for your custom system. In here, you can see estimated 3D Mark score of your system and estimated frame rates for popular games for different resolutions and settings. The app also has a separate parts catalog and also shows you currently available sales for PC parts. I mean, this is everything that I want from a PC configurator and then some. So, if you're a PC lover, I highly recommend you give this app a try. For the next one, I choose an app that I covered pretty recently, and it is Extinguish. Extinguish is an app that allows you to turn off your screen without stopping the application that you're running. For example, let's say that you're playing an idle game. I don't judge you if you do. Well, maybe a little. But anyways, and you want to turn off your screen to protect your display or save some battery. Then all you have to do is to activate Extinguish and that's it. When you want to turn back on the screen, all you have to do is to press one of the volume keys. And of course it works with apps such as YouTube. The app also has a timer function that turns your screen back on after that timer runs out. Every button and feature is customizable through the app, and the app itself is simply beautiful and follows material design. Moreover, if you enable Shizuku, then it actually turns off your screen rather than setting the brightness to -1, which saves even more battery. I mean, it does everything that you may need extremely well, and it is free. So why not give it a try? But what about the open source community? Well, The followings are the best open source applications that I have covered throughout the year. And again, these are the apps that I have already covered throughout the year. So don't get angry if you made an amazing open source application and it is not on this list. In fact, if you did, please reach out to me through email so that I can be aware of it and may cover it in the future. But anyways, let's start with the first open source application of this list, and it is Lotus. I covered and tried a bunch of music player apps, but none stick with me except Lotus. It is a perfect balance of being simple and being feature-rich enough. The most important thing, of course, is design, and Lotus nails it. It is the best looking music player that I have used so far and follows Material Design expressive language. Every action is animated nicely and the app feels snappy. It is an extensive theme option with pure black dark mode. It supports lyrics, has its own equalizer and sleep timer. And that's basically everything that I want from a music player. Oh, also it plays music. So if you're searching for a clean and modern music player, give this app a try. You won't regret it. And the final app in our list is Myne. Myne is an open source ebook reader. It has a huge catalog of books that you can directly download inside the app, and you can import your own EPUB files as well. You can browse books by name or categories. When you select a book, it shows you the details and option to download it. Again, it aligns with Material Design Expressive, has pure black mode, and has an amazing design overall. The app has its own reader with multiple font selection and chapter support, but you can also use another reader and use Myne as a library. If you're searching for a beautiful ebook reader which is also open source, my recommendation is Myne, so why not give it a try? And with that, we came to the end of this list, just as the year 2025. I hope 2026 will bring you all the best and be your year. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And as always, take care.